Hi, and welcome back to the vlog. Now, before we get started today, I want to do a quick shout out to a good friend of mine who created a YouTube channel. Now, this isn't like a fitness YouTube channel or a lifestyle YouTube channel. This is a cool, scary story YouTube channel. It was created by a very good friend of mine who has been one of my best supporters. In fact, he is the person that actually watched Day Zero before anyone else saw it 2 years ago. If you're interested in stories of the macabre and creepy stuff, it's a real cool channel with some cool visuals, some great storytelling.
Some stories involved names on the headstones changing randomly. Howls and moans would echo through the trees surrounding the grounds as you walked. The more popular stories are that of a cult.
He's a master storyteller. Link is in the description. If you have the time, please check it out. Give a subscribe. Let's do some updating. All right. So a week ago, I had my first testosterone shot in over 3 months, and I want to say that I think the first day after the shot, I was going through a placebo effect, where I was like all gung ho, energetic, and zippity doo dah. So I crushed the walk that day. But then I started feeling these side effects. I started kind of feeling tired and sluggish again. And I was having trouble sleeping. I've had a lot of sleepless nights the last week, so I don't know if my body's readjusting to things or not. But I've still maintained doing a 6-mile walk every day. I still maintain the diet. And we'll see how things go next week when I get my next shot and I do the next weigh-in. We'll see if there's some significant progress, or any progress, or no progress. Back in September, when I posted Survive the Day, I think I had mentioned I had taken on a part-time job.
One challenge that came up this week is I had to get a part-time job.
When I came back to Georgia, beginning of July, I had saved up some money. I was going to dedicate myself strictly to my weight loss / fitness journey, and I failed miserably. One of the reasons I failed is because I am literally living in the land of temptation. It started before I left. When I did Down But Not Defeated, I made a little joke at the end of, if I come across a White Castle, I'm going to be doing a lot of driving the next, few days or so, and I might come across a White Castle, and I want to have a slider or 5. Well, I came across a White Castle, and I got some White Castle. And originally that was going to be where the indulging ended. Turns out that was just the beginning. Right off the bat, I wasn't eating very well. I was still trying to work in some of the walks, but I was kind of not doing great with that. I was doing the DDP yoga at the time, but then I was counterbalancing it. Where I'm at in Georgia, literally, I have, just to list a few, I have a Taco Bell, Panda Express, a Chili's, an Arby's, a McDonald's, a Wendy's. Basically, anything you can think of is just like a few minutes away. And I'm not really used to that. When I started the weight loss journey officially 2 years ago in my little town of New York, there were very limited options. There were good options, don't get me wrong. Some of the places in my town have amazing food. But there was something about the variety of the temptation that did me in. I am a food addict. You don't get to 464 pounds without having an unhealthy relationship with food. And in my case, I am a glutton. And you can keep that in check, but when you don't, you overindulge. So here I am in Georgia, failing miserably, burning through all of my money, mostly on crappy food. So September rolls around and I have to focus, get remotivated, but I also need to get a job. I have spent the last 4.5, almost 5 months now, working in a restaurant. I've been working at a place in Georgia, a local Atlanta area chain it's a pizza place, essentially. And when I got the job as a kitchen worker / pizza maker, I got this job right as I ignited things. So here I am trying to get my bearings back, trying to get back in the swing of things, and I take a job in a restaurant, literally surrounded by temptation. So how do I survive working in a place surrounded by all of that food? Well, some tips and tricks that I did to try to make it a little bit easier for me is, one thing I would do is I would wait till the very last minute before I had to go to work, and I would eat a bowl of oatmeal. You know, normally oatmeal would be a good thing for breakfast, but in this case, because I would work the 4 to closing shift or 4 to the evening shift, you know, this was in a way kind of like my dinner. So I would eat the oatmeal, something that was heavy, something that, you know, would fill me up for a little while, and I would also chew gum. The first month and a half, 2 months I was working there, I didn't touch a single slice of pizza. There was no way that early back into restarting things I was going to jeopardize anything. And I didn't even mention to my coworkers that I was on this weight loss journey. They had no idea how heavy I once was, you know, how much weight I had lost. I kept that to myself. And there was a few times where someone took notice that I wasn't, you know, like sometimes if a mistake was made on a pizza, we'd have to remake it for the customer. So we'd have like this area where, like, you know, the waste food would go, and the employees were more than welcome to, you know, have a slice or whatever. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. You know, I would just chew my gum, keep my distance, drink my seltzer. And someone said, like, hey, Keith, I noticed that you don't eat any of the food here. What, do you on a diet or something? And I played it off, and, you know, I was like, well, you know, I don't want to, you know, eat this late at night. You know, I don't want to give myself an upset stomach, which there's some truth to that. But, you know, it was 20 pounds down before I even mentioned anybody, you know, what I was doing and a little bit about the background. So, literally, this last round, I've been doing it working at a restaurant. But, you know, the job, you know, has been very helpful. It's been helping me rebuild the finance. Working at a restaurant is a very good exercise. And as time went on and I was getting progress on the scale again, I was working in some of the food down there. But when I would sample it, it would be in moderation. You know, and it's okay to work in stuff as long as you don't overdo it. I don't think we should deprive ourselves of a lot of stuff. So things continue to go well. I continue to hold the course. The last couple of days, the walking has gone a little bit better. Like I said, I was hitting some like hardcore fatigue, like when I wasn't even on the testosterone. So I don't know if that was mental. My walks are so therapeutic. Not only am I getting exercise when I do the walks, but it's this hour and a half, sometimes less than that actually, but it's my time. I don't look at my phone. I think about different things from my life. I process things that upset me from years ago. I'll think about them. I'll work them out. You know, things that make me happy. I mean, it's just, the walking isn't just beneficial physically, it's beneficial spiritually. I think I've rambled on too long. I greatly appreciate the people, especially the 41% that watch these through to the end. You know, I'm just grateful if someone stops by and checks it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.